In sports, the scoreboard doesn't tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks and a battle for the heart, soul, and direction of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1. Whether you're a diehard fan or you're brand new, Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. You can watch these incredible sports stories like Quarterback, F1 Drive to Survive, Untold, and many more now on Netflix.
Hello and welcome to a new podcast, The Paddock and the Pavilion with Stephen Wallace. In each show, Stephen will interview someone connected to the world of horse racing or cricket.
Hello and welcome to The Paddock and the Pavilion. I hope you are all keeping safe and well and you enjoyed Christmas Day 2020. Hopefully it will be very different in 2021. Now it's time to listen to today's podcast with your cup of tea and mince pie, or perhaps something stronger like a glass of wine. In today's final episode of this year, I spoke to Shahidul Alam Ratan, known as Ratan, the CEO of Capital Kids Cricket. Capital Kids Cricket use cricket as a tool to inspire, challenge and change the lives of disadvantaged children and young people across London. Ratan, an elite coach from Bangladesh, has made a real difference in the capital during lockdown. A cricket man of action. During the festive period, we will also be releasing a few additional podcasts, so do keep an eye on our Twitter and Facebook page for further details. Enjoy today's show and that cup of tea or glass of wine, whichever you prefer. Hello, Ratan. Welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for having me.
Well, to start with, I would like to congratulate you on having your name added to the Kia Oval for a day on Monday the 15th in recognition of all the work you've done during lockdown. You must be delighted.
Oh, yes. It came as a surprise, probably, though I knew a couple of weeks back that it's going to happen because they contacted me for various things. And I was not expecting what it looked like until on 15th. And so, I was overwhelmed and humble.
Yeah, I've seen some of the photos. I mean, you must let us have one of the photos so we can put on our social media page. Can you tell me what the work you've done for Capital Kids Cricket during the lockdown, which was recognised on Monday?
Well, you see that we as an organisation, we are quite proactive. And the things that we do day in, day out, whatever we think that this needs to be done, we just don't wait for people to tell us we need to do this. We just do it. And this is what is in my characteristic, that if I think that something needs to be done, regardless, I just go and do it. So that it is my character. So soon, mid-March, we know that there's something coming up. And we thought, well, and nobody expected what it looked like. And I didn't expect what it looked like. Soon it's announced. I had a call with our staffs and some of the volunteers. We need to do something. We need to engage because this is, it came in at a time when everybody energized about cricket season in March. March, April is a time where everybody enthusiastic to go outdoor, plan this, indoor training, planning for fixtures, watering kit, watering equipments, all those things. It is an exciting time for many people, particularly the young people.
Definitely.
And we thought we need to just do engaging people. How we do that? I said, all right, in my home, I can do these things without going outside. So I did some video of batting drill, some bat tapping, some catching. And I told our staff to just keep doing it and keep recording it. Tell your daughter, your son, or your wife to just record it. And then we start sharing within our group so that we manage a couple of clubs. We helped a couple of groups. we set up the challenge activities. All right, keep doing this, and let's see how we move on. And that was the start. And our coaches came up more creative thing than myself. And in fact, there are the people who did all those things, and we just made sure that we put together everything and just to go with that. So that was the beginning. This is how it came through. And then, of course, March, April, May, June, until we come out from July, because when that lockdown eases, then that staff are in furlough, and then when the flexible furlough came out and we brought everybody, we started summer camp. Normally we do one place, we did 3 places. It was, people are so hungry to come out and do activities.
Yeah.
And we are pleased that we could provide that. We started in 3 different venues in East London. And what happens, and we try to make sure that we follow the government guideline. We make sure that our staffs are safe, first of all. We wanted to make sure that when they come, the venue is safe, and that children are safe. So we have done various additional things. I think we are one of the first organization. We went to the ground and do a trial run with our staffs, maintaining social distancing. All right, this is how we are going to do the bubble. This is how we are going to do the fencing at the ground. This is how children will come. We take the temperature. All right. This is how they will do the registration, and during the break where they're going to stay. All those things we have done prior to the summer camp starts.
What were the age group of the children?
So it was very young age. It was started from 8 years to 15. So that was the age group. And we got lots of youngest, even 6 years, 7 years old joined. And there are so much of interest, and we couldn't take them because of we have to maintain the bubble. In a bubble, we cannot have more than 15, including staffs. And we cannot just take people on the day. So everything was pre-registered. We created Google Sheet. And we gone digitally very quickly. In fact, all those things we have done, we didn't think about the funding. We didn't think about we have to get funding, we have to do this. Nothing. And of course, the National Lottery, they had a funding for one of our refugee project. It was not designed to do this, but whatever we have done, we received some funding from City of London, East London communities to run a few things. So it was all part of that. But it was, yeah. So this is one of the way we have done, and so after I think first 2 weeks, when the children were doing the different activities, coaches are feeding them with various challenges. We found probably they may get bored, and that we found after a couple of weeks the participation is going down, because almost same weeks they're doing almost the same thing. Then we put a challenge between the clubs. All right, this is your clubs. Let's see how many people can do this task, and this is another club, and see who is winning. So we started with the 3, then 5, then 12, then 16, and it's gone beyond London. We have club from Yorkshire, we have club from Sussex, we have clubs from Bournemouth. All those places the clubs are joining, and then suddenly there are other clubs start engaging with us. With our contacts, club from California, club from Singapore, club from we set up a refugee program in Lebanon. We got 2.
So it's worldwide now, then. Yeah,
it's from there.
Yeah,
and everybody was very interactive. And personally, I did some of the online coaching with some of the adults. That this is what you can do. I never thought that I'll be using Zoom. I never heard about Zoom.
No, nobody had it, I think. No.
All right. So what I have done in the beginning, I think when the government announced that there are going to be lockdown, I created a small group with some of the adult players and the volunteers. I think about 10 or 12. I said that I wanted to go for a trial of course I will go. It will go. It may go wrong, or it will go wrong. So I wanted to go with my close contact so that you give me feedback. So I created a Facebook group, and I started with the Facebook Messenger. So that was the first start.
Yeah.
All right, and then we move out from there, and then came to the Zoom. And while I was doing various interview with the various other people because of lockdown, there are a lot of digital platform created during that time online.
And you did some global ball passing as well. I saw that.
Yes. So part of this, the global ball passing, I should give credit to my development manager, Joe Fisher. While we are doing this, and he said, Ratan, because we have now established contact in various other places, and he was telling that why not we do a ball passing from Scotland, for example, Scotland to the Cornwall, during that time. Then I said that's a good idea. Then if we can do here, why not we do globally? Because we got contacts everywhere. This was the start, and that because within our those activities, of course, club joined from California, club joined from Singapore, club joined from Lebanon, Holland, then UAE, right? Of course, Bangladesh.
This was done digitally, wasn't it? By Zoom. Yeah,
digitally.
Yeah.
So then we have come up with the plan that how to do that, and So then we created. All right, somebody will pass a ball. I'll record you with my camera. A ball will fly. I'll catch it. All right, and then I'll nominate somebody with a message of "Let's beat COVID with the power of cricket." And I'm nominating Stephen to catch this ball. So I'm passing the ball to Stephen, and that means you catch the ball. Thank you, Ratan. All right, and then you pass to somebody else. So it's a virtual capture. So then we started from California, and then it came to Washington, New York, Florida, then part of England, that corner. And of course, there are a lot of clubs involved in the UK. The celebrity cricketers, if we think about Alex Tudor, which is Ray Tudor, our head coach's elder brother, he was one of them. And then this is how we move it to Australia, up to the Gold Coast. And then Adam Holyoke was there to catch a ball, and he nominated some other people. Then we had from South Africa, we had from Sweden, and in between, that there was a huge interactions from everywhere.
Well, you really went global then. So can we just go back to Capital Kids Cricket? You started working there as a development coach in 2008, and you became the chief executive officer in 2015. Can you tell listeners, I know you've done some of this already with what you've done in lockdown, but what Capital Kids Cricket does and what difference it makes to people in the capital?
It is that if I go back to history of Capital Kids Cricket, it's 30 years back I should go, when the state school cricket was dying inner city, London. There's almost zero cricket in the primary schools. So this is where two of our trustees, both of them are Yorkshiremen, and they started, I think, in a pub that we need to do something, and both of them are cricket enthusiasts. One was sadly passed away, William Greaves. He was a journalist in various papers and Standard and Mail at the end. And Hayden Turner, he's our current chairman. So they thought we need to do something, so that they started with almost without money to Westminster, I think, and then I think within a week or so they applied to, I think, one of the funder that we wanted to do this, and I think they received a check of nearly £90,000 within a very short time, 30 years back, when Capital Kids Cricket didn't have the bank account. So that was the start, and and then of course they had coaches, assigned coaches. All right, this is what we need to do. And we came up with a plan that time, 6 weeks blocks to each school. So 6 weeks of lesson to teach cricket with some basic things, and the linking with one to other. So that was the start. And to be honest, that cricket has moved on, grassroots cricket has moved on with the funding from ECB, from various other organizations. And Chance to Shine started probably 2004-05.
Yeah.
And almost they have followed our steps, I should say. Almost a similar concept, of course, with a huge money, huge PR. They have done quite a lot for cricket in grassroots. And we as a Capital Cricket feel very proud that we have started a journey when it was not there. So that was primary school, and we do day in, day out now in primary school, state primary schools. And then we do the secondary schools as well, girls, women and girls. Then one of our key part is to help local communities and clubs. So there are a number of clubs that past 30 years Capitalist Cricket has helped to grow and develop many. But if we see that, if I tell specifically which are the club we are directly involved from the beginning, it would be Regents Park Cricket Club in Regents Park. It would be Tower Hamlets Cricket Club in Tower Hamlets. It is West Ham and Stratford Cricket Club in Stratford. Leighton Wickets Cricket Club in Leighton. London Tigers Southall Cricket Club in Southall. And these are the clubs that I mentioned. It was almost during my tenure when I joined Capitalist Cricket. And before that, there was many other clubs were supported, including Stoke Newington Cricket Club, North London, Clapton Cricket Club, Islington Cricket Club. And a lot of activities were based in north and northeast of London. And of course, we do central London, which is Camden, Westminster, West London also, Ealing, South London we did in Camden. So we work across the city and work with all of the counties, Middlesex to start with, Essex, we are heavily working with Essex, Surrey Cricket Board. So we run a lot of competitions. We run one of the largest primary school competitions every year. About 160 to 180 schools take part. And last time we ran, this year of course we couldn't do. Previous year we did with 17 London boroughs took part in that competition. So it's not a one-off. So there is a phases. So we start the competition in November, finish it in about March, and we play the final, semi-final rounds at Lords indoor schools. All right. So just why we are doing at Lords, we wanted to give some motivation to the young people, to inspiration to the young people. If anybody walking to the Lords, and that might inspire him or her to stay on the sports, or particularly cricket, for a long time. So that was one of the competition we do. We do number of residential trip every year. So we take about 200, 250 boys and girls to different residential trips. One was in Arundel Castle. So that was been running for, I think, last 26, 27 years.
So you're really making a difference, because you're working in some disadvantaged areas as well, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And those, and why Arundel Cricket Foundation and our partnership is so important, because we work in disadvantaged areas, we work in state schools, and we work, that where the council tenants are living, most of the people living, depending on the social housing and all those larger families. When they go out to place like West Sussex, Arundel Castle, when they stay in Lodge Hill, the accommodation 3 days, all right, and we try to provide what a touring team will get. So if a first-class touring team go, they will have a breakfast on the right time. They will need to get to the coach on right time, all right. When they go to the ground, they'll walk to the changing room. They'll come out to the ground, and there will be people greeting them. Coaches will be there. Everything is ready. They will have a tea break. They will have a lunch break. And absolutely, it's a huge change from a day in day out what they do in London. London, you will see only the concretes at time.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they go out and see the beautiful ground, and they run around where of course, everybody know about Orlando cricket ground and the history behind it. And we provide the tea almost as like a first class team or Sussex teams are having their tea, almost the similar menu. And for many of them, it is that 3 day trip is a life skill. It's give them a lot of, though they are very young, under 11s, under 12s, but it stays within their memory for a long time. So this is one of the things that we do: separate girls group, separate boys group, and
yeah. So your boys and girls, and have some of the you're connected with the Middlesex, Surrey, and Essex. Have some gone on to play at under levels for any of the counties?
There are many goes from our programs, but normally we don't keep any sort of record who's gone where. All right, because there are so many, within our program, and mainly we know those who are coming to our clubs. If from there it's go somewhere, but there are a number of people join our program, particularly to the residential camps and the summer camp. They come from different other clubs, and then they move on to their other clubs. So there is recently one of the boy, he played for England under 19 from not Middlesex Cricket Club, probably. His name is Pete Horman's son, Sam Horman. His first name I forgot. So he was part of our program for quite some time. So he got a contract with the Middlesex just now. Ravi Bupara, though Ravi Bupara don't know about much of Capital cricket, but Ravi Bupara was coached and was picked up from one of the East London primary school from Newham, a coach called John Smith. So John Smith was my predecessor. So John Smith was the head coach and coordinator for Capital cricket since its beginning until he passed away. I think he passed away in 2004-05. So and that time a lot of people knew that John Smith is doing all those things. And London schools, that probably London schools.
Yeah, I've heard of London schools.
Part of a lot of our activities. Then we separated from London school because London schools are focusing a little bit of elite, they gone to a little bit of private schools type things, so that we separated. So yeah, so there are a lot of things that we have done and we are still doing. Sometimes, and I should say most of the times, our name don't come in front because we do delivery for some of the ECB's program, lot of county boards program, lost revenues program, and though we run our own things, but we don't spend money for PR, money for promotion, money for digitalization, nothing. Our fund we receive, almost everything goes to the grassroots. Everything. There is no person in between. So, like, there are a lot of charities, big charities getting a lot of money, and they will use delivery partners in between. And while the money divert from one to other, a lot of money goes away for admin and this and that.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, if I talk about myself, probably I have started a little bit of promotion when I become the CEO 2015. Before that, we have a old-fashioned website. We had a Facebook page, but that there was not much activities are going on. So I try to make some changes because it's really matters, because people need to know who you are. Otherwise, because every day we require money. Without fund, you can't do anything. The people will give you fund, only people know you if people know you that you are this person or you are this organization, you are doing that. So we need to. We got so much of brilliant stories which are not told.
No.
And to capture those stories, you
You've
need
got to have a
specialized
platform, haven't
people,
you?
and you need dedicated time to tell those stories via different media. So this is one of our lacking, and still it is lacking. But myself and my development manager, who is Joe Fisher, he is quite good. So we are trying to do fundraising, we are trying to do delivery, we are trying to do coordination, we are trying to do digitalization, we are trying to do the promotion we use. So it's crazy, but we really enjoy.
Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate there. I mean, the most important thing, there is obviously interest in cricket, which is the most important thing from the base that was 30 years ago, the work you're doing. Moving on to you personally, you were a high standard domestic player in Bangladesh in the 1980s and 1990s, and I understand you played for Bangladesh in 1990 3 times.
Yes, it was an honor that I had a little bit of chance to represent my country. Pre-test recognition, and we didn't have the recognition for one day international, even though. So I played for visiting Hyderabad Blues team, captained by Syed Kirmani. Chetan Sharma was playing that time. They were Chetan Sharma, Raman Lamba. They were almost that time they were playing for India. Praveen Amre, he was almost getting to the Indian side. A couple of Indian international was there. So those days
you were a wicket-keeper batsman.
I was a wicket-keeper batsman.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to called for that tour, and I was very young. I was probably 18. I was 19 when I got a chance. So I played a 3-day unofficial test with them. I played first one-day match against them, and we won it. I played first ever day-night match in Bangladesh against them. That was the first time the Bangladesh played a day-night game. So I was lucky enough to part of that.
And you moved into coaching in the early part of this century, and you coached at elite level with Bangladesh. Which players did you coach when you were involved with Bangladesh?
I coached directly Tamim Iqbal, the opener, Saqib Al Hasan, who is the all-rounder, Mushfiq Rahim, who is the wicket-keeper, Mahmudullah Riyad, who was I think he's a one-day captain. So these are the couple of names that I can recall. There are many. Under 19, Bangladesh 18, the number of them played test matches. There are many. And again, I should say I played a little bit part of their journey while I was working for Bangladesh Cricket Board. So I joined Bangladesh Cricket Board as a national coach in 2001, and I was part of the junior squads. So I was involved with all the junior national camps. Under 13, under 15, under 17, under 19s. So that was the start. And that time, those days, those who are part of those camps, if I think about under 13 or under 15 national camps, so it was a selected group from all over Bangladesh, and everybody was, of course, talented, equally talented, and a lot of them made to the national team. So, and that 5.5 years with Bangladesh Cricket Board, I really enjoyed work. I was part of I was the national coach for Bangladesh A team, Bangladesh under 17, Bangladesh under 25, and then I was one of the high performance senior coach. I was part of Bangladesh under 19 World Cup team management in 2004. So I really enjoyed my time in Bangladesh, but the cricket coaching was part of my DNA probably somehow from very early age, where I grown up a place called Mymensingh. It is about 120 miles, 20 kilometers from Dhaka. So I grown up there, and it was a city for cricketing. It was famous for cricket because of the British connection was there for a long time. And they played cricket, and I joined one club called County Cricket Club. The name was English name, it's County. So I started my cricket there, and I never changed that club throughout my life as long as I was there. So I was played there. So I am really grateful to two individuals, which is one is Kaji Muhammad Hassan. He is my coach. He told me one day when I was running at the ground, would you like to play cricket? Come and join my club. So that was the day I joined a club. And I wanted to join many other clubs, and I was shy to ask, can I join?
And how old were you then?
I was probably 7, 8, 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yes. And before that, I was playing the tap ball, with the tennis ball here and there.
Yeah.
Though it looks odd that that I started hardball cricket when I was 13 or maybe 14, where if you can think about now, it is 10 years old, 8 years old, started hardball cricket everywhere. So anyway, so this is how I got it. And then another gentleman, the founder of that club, Professor Nurullah Noah, and these two gentlemen was really helped me, and I was motivated by their work ethic, by them, I should say. And very quickly I got a chance to play in Dhaka because I was playing school cricket, and I was selected by Bangladesh Cricket Board. They made a school cricket 11 selected player from all over country. So I was one of them after a long process, and I was captaining that team. So there was all elite players. Elite means almost everybody played either Bangladesh under 19 or Bangladesh team from that squad.
Yeah.
So I was lucky that I was captaining there for 2 years, and we won a Dhaka second division cricket league. And there are some coaches who I was part of. One was them, Mr. Mushir Rahman Montu. He passed away. He was one of my coach. So I learned what I used to do. Whatever I used to learn, I wanted to tell my fellow players. Even most of them were my senior in my club in Mymensingh. And whatever I was learning in Dhaka with my coaches, when I go back to Mymensingh, my coach, Mr. Kaji Hassan, was telling Ratan, you do the warm-up, all right? You do this, you do that with the group. So this is how
you evolved into a coach, yeah.
And involved to my coach, and and I was always loving it. So that anything I learned, my thing was, I wanted to tell somebody, all right, this is how I learned something, all right, and this is what you do, all right. So yeah, this is very early age, I should say.
Where do you see Bangladesh cricket in the next 5 years? I mean, England have toured and lost in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh are a good side at home. How do you think they'll do, say, in the T20 World Cup in India?
Well, any team at home always good.
Yeah.
All right. It's no different than Bangladesh. Now, we got huge talented players, but we got infrastructure, the challenges with the infrastructure, and of course, because of socio-economic reason, there are various things is not in place. One of them is junior cricket is hugely behind. There are lots of cricket academy, we can say, cricket coaching centers, but they just do only coaching. There is not much game because there is not much of proper ground, and that. So this is one of the challenge. I think if some of the infrastructure and some of the basic things can be implemented, I think Bangladesh can be as good as India, as good as South Africa, and any other test playing nation, I should say, because of the amount of talent they have. We will always have a problem with playing abroad, in particularly in the wicket, like the Australian hard wicket, English grass wicket,
Yeah.
and sometimes turning wicket like in India. We would have some challenges, but having said that, T20 and 50 over shorter format, our teams are doing well. We got some really talented cricketers, individual cricketers, but again, there are about Bangladesh cricket and its development. It's another chapter that there are so much need to be done, and if those things can be done properly, the sky is the limit for them. I'm telling you. It's not that I'm biased that I'm from Bangladesh,
No.
but it's a reality that if the proper planning in place and some basic infrastructure can be provided, and it's another thing is about the culture. The way the sports in subcontinent is like a religious for the people. And there is a huge emotion goes with it, but at times we need to keep emotion aside and need to focus what need to be done.
Yeah.
And because of the political influence, there are things sometimes you cannot do the way you wanted to do as well. So I think, and again, for Bangladesh, cricket is one of the number one achievement the country had after the liberation war, I should say. So sports brought the people together. In our wartime, everybody was together, despite of their race, religions, parties, and everything. And this is the second thing it brought together, which is the sports, and particularly the cricket. So the sports it's nothing new in Bangladesh or anywhere. Sports can bring people together.
Definitely, yeah.
And we know that the impact of sports. But yeah, so it's a different area that it's complicated the way things need to be put in place, but it's achievable also.
Good. Well, hopefully also I think it's important now that especially with the effects of the pandemic, that the sort of big three do support the smaller countries as well.
Yeah.
Because England need to be playing cricket, India and Australia against not just themselves but against the other nations to broaden the game, broaden the appeal of the game itself. But just coming to the end of today's podcast, what are your remaining ambitions for Capital Kids Cricket? Where would you like that to go in the future? Obviously, it's been very much affected, I would imagine, by the COVID outbreak, and looking forward to 2021.
It's challenging for many organizations like we are facing because of lockdown. And again, this lockdown and the infection rate, the way it is increasing, we don't know how high it will go and when it start to ease down. So it's a very uncertain 6 months or maybe a year will go by. Though there is a vaccine is coming, it will take some time to roll out, and so when we'll be. But as for Capital Kids Cricket, I just wanted to make sure that this grows. I wanted to make it a organization. It is not only me as a person. I think everybody in Capital Kids Cricket wanted to see this. Everybody talk about at least a recognition that there is an organization called Capital Kids Cricket. They do this. So at least I wanted to take that personally on that level. Number two is, of course, the experience and expertise that we have as a team. That can be hugely benefited for many organizations, many more small organizations, and I should say many big organizations can get benefit from our experience and expertise. And and if you see our case stories, that can be motivational for the people. and we always wanted to work with all the cricketing body, ECB, county boards, other charities. And one of the important thing is we wanted to change life of the people. It's not that we wanted to make a young cricketer to be international cricketer. We wanted to give that young cricketer the hope and opportunity so that it can give him the opportunity what he wanted to be in his life. So it can be a sports personnel. With the sports in young age, it can refresh your mind for various ways. It's not necessary that as long as you are a successful person, as long as you are a good person who help himself, his family, and the community, that is what we want it to be, everybody. And then the community will be safer, community will be thriving, and the country will be prosperous.
Well, thank you. That's a great message. And thank you very much for being on the Paddock and the Pavilion today. The very best wishes to you and Capital Kids Cricket for 2021 and beyond. Thank you, Ratan.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and have a very joyful Christmas ahead.
Thank you. And in the final episode of the Paddock and the Pavilion in 2020, I caught up with our very first guest, the young Italian jockey Gaia Boni, who had this to say to all our followers.
Hi everyone. I hope you had a lovely Christmas in these strange circumstances, and I wish all the best for the next year, 2021.
Thank you very much, Gaia, and best wishes to everyone.
Thank you for listening to The Paddock and the Pavilion. You can download the show on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher and Spotify. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at The Pad and Pav.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Don't forget that your skin is your largest organ, and the sun can be your skin's worst enemy. Dermatologist recommended Neutrogena products offer the ultimate protection for your skin. From makeup remover wipes to Hydro Boost Water Gel Facial Moisturizer, BJ's has your entire lineup of Neutrogena skincare products. And now through December 3rd, save $4 on any Neutrogena product at BJ's. Love your skin back and save now through December 3rd, only at BJ's.